So I want to talk about the do's and don'ts of archery hunting. Let's get to it.
I don't wanna see that white flag waving. This is to the bitter end. 'Cause this is what I live for. I never quit, no, no. This is what I live for. I take another swing, so I never miss, no, no. This is what I live for. It's time to kiss the ring, oh, I'm trying to get cold. 'Cause this is what I live for. This is what I live for. I never quit, no, no. This is what I live for.
Alrighty, guys. So here to talk about the do's and don'ts. Part one. First of all, before we get into it, I want to say Happy New Year's to everybody, and Happy Monday. So, reason why I want to do this video is things that I have learned, and with the last 3 hunts that I did last year, one being a pronghorn hunt, first time ever hunting pronghorn. Really fun. Really don't like those animals a lot. The other one, elk. Been elk hunting archery for the last 2 years. And whitetail. This would be the 3rd year we went whitetail hunting. Really fun animal to hunt. Very, very sensitive to humans. Pretty much anything that, makes them skittish. They're a very, very unique animal. You're hunting in a blind or up in a tree stand, you got to be very, very quiet. You got to keep your scent to top notch, no scent, no odor. So anyways, this first part is about the do's. So this is more has to deal with, or more along the lines of archery hunting. The whitetail hunt is later in the season for us. We could have hunted it earlier, but the rut is way better to hunt them, in my opinion. So I'm going to get into it. It does follow the lines of other hunting techniques, crossbow, rifle, short range, or muzzleloader. So you can use these if you want. I encourage it. That's why I'm doing this video. So the first thing that I would recommend is scouting. Scouting and knowing the area, or getting to know the area. Last year I didn't do a lot of it due to the fact of prices for fuel, food. It was outrageous. We all had to deal with it. Not going to go there. So I did get to do a little bit of scouting for the pronghorn and elk hunting. So number one thing with scouting and knowing the area is having a good map, whether it be paper, digital, electronic. That's what I'd recommend. There's a whole bunch out there. The one that I currently use is Onyx Maps. I have the Elite. It gives you all the states, the layers, for a year subscription, it's one-time payment is like $99.99. Don't do the 14-month. It to me is more money in the long run. So I'm not. You can do what you want to do, but 1 year subscription is, like I said, $100. So with that, using Onyx, whatever maps they have available out there, you can do a whole lot with them. Offline maps is really good because you'll get into some places where it doesn't work with cell phone service. So downloading those at home and then going out and using them. So when scouting the areas for your hunts, you're going to, looking for food, water, trails, where they're going to be coming and going from their bedding area, transitioning to where they're going to be feeding. That's what you're mostly wanting, you're going to be doing. Knowing the area, it falls in that when you're scouting. When I typically start scouting, I do it 2 to 3 months before, right at the end of spring is when I start going and scouting. When I'm out there, I get to know the area. If I haven't hunted the area that I'm going to choose to hunt, I go out and I walk through and kind of get a lay of the land, the landmarks, find water holes, find, good vegetational areas that they're going to be feeding on, trails. And when doing so, I'm marking those spots, spots that would be good for them to come through, or previous stuff that they've came through, trails that are beaten down. That's what I'm looking for. If you don't scout and you do it when you go, or if you scout a week to a month before, or you're scouting while you're hunting, that's fine and everything. But while you're out there scouting, you could come across, herds of elk or bulls or bachelor bulls or cows, and get to know what they're doing and basically be in their zone and figure out what they're doing. And you'll see, you could possibly see, I don't know how many videos I've seen, guys talk about it. They go out and they scout and they see a bull, a nice bull that's still in velvet, and they take pictures, and then they make a video out hunting, and they come across this bull and they're like, oh, that's the bull that we seen a month or so ago. He's still in this area. So getting out there and looking at those areas in person, walking through, knowing your landmarks, knowing where this is at and this, and when you shoot something or harvest an animal in there, where like all the road systems are. Oh, I shot a bull here. Oh, we're 200 yards away from this road. For for people that are hunting, certain areas that have a lot of road systems and stuff like that. If you're in a wilderness, finding trails, the trails that you come in on, and you go up, 3 miles and you shoot a bull downhill, and you get to your bull and you look down, or you look at your onX and you're like, our trail that we just came up is, a mile from here. It makes it a lot easier, knowing the area and scouting. So that's what I would recommend for that one is, knowing scouting and knowing your areas and getting a good, map. onX, base maps, what is the other one? Hunt map, I think is what it's called. So getting out there, scouting, and knowing the area. The next one I want to get to is setting up your gear. I don't know how many times I have told myself this, and it seems like I just stay to my normal of doing. I wait till last minute, or I have everything in my pack on the last day. I'll have everything that I need. I get out there, I don't have this, come back, I get it, I go back out, and then I forget something else. So last year was a little bit better, I would have to say. I kind of prepared myself a little bit better. I would just shove everything into my camping boxes, my pack. But last year I did, I got those black totes with the yellow lids from like Lowe's and Home Depot. I have 2 of them. One box has all of my clothing, beanies, my sweatshirt, usually this that I'm wearing today. I wear this in the morning on, early September, late September, because it does chill it's really cold in the morning. Boots, pants, my pack, thermals, gloves, you name it. My other one has my food supply, cooking utensils, stove, my sprays, my downwind, bugle tubes, calls. So those 2 boxes have all my gear in it, so that when I get out there, my pack is not filled with stuff and I put what I need. So just recommendation that I would do is set up your gear in advance before your hunt. Next thing, this kind of falls in with setting up gear, is food and water, or hydration. Food, so typically like elk hunt, this would be more for elk hunting because you're out, and it could be totally different. If you're doing, backwood or backcountry, camping, wilderness, in for 4 to 10 days, then it's in your pack. Or if you're camping somewhere where you have your main camp, But anyways, so for food, what I usually do, and the last couple of years that I've gone elk hunting, is I take frozen or freeze-dried Mountain House. They're really good, lots of protein, nutrients. They're great. I haven't tried any other ones. That's the only one I really like. I was like, okay, I'm gonna try these, and I've stuck with them. I typically take one of those for lunch. Morning time, I'm eating something at camp, and then we go. If I don't take one for lunch, then it's just snacking on stuff, which I'll get to here in a minute. But the freeze-dried mountain houses, I either have one for the lunch, or if we get back late to camp, I'll eat one for dinner. I usually don't like to take a lot of food because you got during the early season, it's hot. You gotta have a lot of ice chest, a really good ice chest to keep all that cold. If we are going to eat dinner, if we shoot something and we're back to camp by a decent time and got everything hung, then we'll eat like steak or chicken, something easy, and a canned vegetable, and that's about it. So the other thing is snacks. So like I said, if I don't take one of those mountain houses with me, I'll take a bunch of snacks. Trail mix is a really good one for you. Unfortunately, I can't eat any of the trail mix that the store, like the store-bought ones, because I have a food allergy, I have a peanut allergy. So I make my own. I use almonds, regular M&Ms, cranberries, anything dry, the dry fruit. I'll mix it up myself, put it in my pack. Other things I'll do is like the chewy granola bars from Quaker, just a chocolate chip, some protein bars, Cliff bars, the kid ones, because they're separate from everything else. They don't have any, peanuts in it. Those are all really good stuff. That's what I usually snack on. So another thing is hydration. That's a big one for me. Hydration is something that you really want to have. Lots of water. Most of the time when we're out, I will have water. Another thing I usually have in the truck or back at camp is Gatorade, to have those electrolytes. But I don't carry it on me just because it's got that smell to it, putting off odor. I just don't want that. So when we're out hunting, water is the biggest thing. I do carry. I haven't carried a lot of them, or I've never carried them in the past. Is like the hydration packets. They're flavored. They got a lot of what's the word? Electrolytes, all that stuff to get you hydrated. My brother has carried some of them. I don't remember what the brand's called, but he's had them, and I've tried them, and they're all right. And then I tried it's called Liquid IV, and they are absolutely, they're good. There's only two that I've tried, and it's grape and lemon lime. The grape is my favorite. Another thing you can get is like these the lemonade drink mixes. I throw these in my pack because just to give a little bit of flavor. They're low calorie, sugar free. Hold on. Sorry about that. The Liquid IV, they're about the size of a pen, the packages. I don't know how many they came in. I got a whole bunch of them from somebody that had too many. And so I have like pretty much Liquid IV in my hunting pack. So they're great flavor. If you're getting dehydrated, throw one of those in and drink it, and then you're good to go. So, but yeah, that's pretty much what I would do, like I said, with the food and staying hydrated. So, next one I would recommend, what I would do also is shooting your bow. If you shoot your bow constantly, getting muscle memory, anchor point, peep alignment, everything like that, that's the biggest thing. If you slack off of that and you 2 months down the road you haven't pulled your bow and you go to pull it back, your muscles are going to be, it's going to hurt. I don't know how many times I've told my wife, but I mean, she had a medical issue come up and she lost a bunch of weight, and with losing that, you kind of also lose, not only losing weight, but not working out and having the muscle, muscle gains or whatever. So, but yeah, shoot your bow, tune your bow, get it dialed in. So that's what I recommend. I mentioned workout, so that's the next thing I'd recommend is exercising. That is number one key, or probably the second number one thing that I would do is right there behind with food and water, is exercise. Because you're shooting your bow, you're walking, work your arms, walking, running, lifting weights. That is going to help stamina. That's going to help keep you healthy. Your immune system is going to stay up. Also, I won't get too in depth with it, but when you are working out, if you can get like some protein, pre-workout, anything like that, that's going to help. When you're working out, that's going to build, your muscles. And it's going to help when you're hiking out in the woods, You're constantly walking around chasing, big game and everything. That's what I would recommend. Also, before and after working out, I would, a good meal, protein, vegetables. Lots of times when we work out, and like I said, I don't want to get too in depth with this, but before we work out, we always drink like a smoothie or something, and then take our pre-workout, go work out, and then when we come back from working out, we eat a good meal. So, in fact, tonight we're gonna work out and have some deer venison, so we'll be good. So that's what I recommend. Exercise. Last thing that I would recommend, when you're out, or if you're gonna, this is more for elk hunting. Pronghorn, you wouldn't do it, but if you're gonna elk hunt, calling an elk, bugling, practice. Get a good bugle tube. There's a lot of them out there. Get a good diaphragm. Get a good. If you can't use the diaphragm because it, gag reflex or whatever, I understand. I got over it. So, and it helps. It, locating a bull, or multiple bulls, when you hear that, it gives you more confidence. You get excited, you're like, oh, I got a bull to answer me. It's just practice. I constantly practice my calling all year round. I never stop, unless my wife gets annoyed with it, which I can understand, but I don't care. If I'm gonna go elk hunting, I want to be able to call in a bull. Lots of times, you know, if you're gonna go on an elk hunt and you're by yourself, you got to learn to call, because you're not just gonna be able to walk up on them and there they are. You got to learn to call. So that's a big key to elk hunting. Whitetail hunting, deer hunting, actually, I would say. Calling, you can. There's grunting, there's doe bleats, estrus bleats, rattling, and then you can use scents too. I use a lot of scent when whitetail hunting. So, but that calling is more for elk hunting. But yeah. Anyways, that is part 1 of do's and don'ts. This part 1 was of do's. I will be getting this video out there so you guys can see this. Let me know in the comments below on what your guys' do's and don'ts are for this topic. Stay tuned for part 2 of do's and don'ts, and that's going to be the don'ts, what not to do, and that will be coming out either Friday or Monday, so of this week or next week. So just stay tuned and be ready for that video to come out. So other than that, I hope you guys like this video. Once again, Happy New Year's. I hope you all stay healthy. Thank God for everything that He's given us and helped us through. And if you are looking, God is listening. So just think about Him. But other than that, I want you guys to have a great day. God bless, and stay tuned.